Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea Silvestro. Today I am coming at you with a very different video. I have never heard of this person at all. I just saw that this was circulating around YouTube and I wanted to react to it. So we'll be reacting to the song right now and I'm really excited to see it. Hi, Ren. Already what a haunting intro. I'm loving the nylon string guitar intro. We will continue. I'm excited for the lyrics. He's definitely a very adept guitar player already, so I'm excited to see the rest of this because I do appreciate when guitar is mentioned and used in songs.
Hi there, Ran. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ran, on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi, Ran. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately. And I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this.
Okay, don't mean to pause already. I just want to make sure that because of copyright. So obviously I'm definitely getting the theme of mental illness, etc. And I was not expecting this at all. He's really fully engaging with these two characters that he's kind of portraying. We kind of have the more mentally unstable version of himself and the more stable version of himself, and there's definitely that contrast. And even with the whole music video, the way that it's made, it's like we're in this mental asylum, and even how the lights are flickering when he kind of switched from the intro to this more mentally ill version of himself. I already knew this was going to comment on mental illness, but I was not expecting this level of intensity of just his portrayal of these two different sides of himself. So yes, I'm excited to watch the rest. I'm a little bit caught off guard.
Step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect to always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate. This time is different, man. Trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place. And my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great. And when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side.
This is just a random point already. Like, even with that whole moment, it's just him and his guitar, but it's still so powerful because the lyrics are really powerful. His expression, his just manner of portraying these two different characters is so powerful that even in that 20 seconds of silence, it didn't feel like the music wasn't there. It didn't feel like there was anything missing, which is very unique because I feel once the music leaves the song, you'd think that it would it makes the song feel a little bit more uneasy. I think when he has that moment, he takes the guitar out of the song and it still continues because of his rhythm, etc. It still works, which is really surprising to me. And we see like the flickering of the light when he kind of goes into this more into the side of himself that is struggling, and it's showing this side that has hope and this side that just realizes that, just thinks that they'll never be able to get better. And I think this really does a great job of portraying issues of mental health, because it's so up and down. It is so volatile. The emotions are something you have to constantly work through, and I think this is what is shown in this song, is that you can have good days, but you also have your demons that you have to battle with. And I think he's doing a good job of showing both without it being overly corny, or I don't know, overly corny, because I feel with sometimes topics of mental health, when artists try to comment it can get a little bit dramatized and lose its intent and meaning. But I think overall, like, this feels like a very raw performance. Even with the accent, I think that it adds to it as well, because it's him speaking / rapping more so than singing. So I don't really have much to say about the technique or vocal technique. I just think that it's a very engaging song so far, and I'm curious to see how it continues and how it shapes and how it resolves.
With dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Wow, your Grammys ran nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistic. I never write hooks for the radio. They never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with his subconscious, Eminem did it. Played on guitar, Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath us. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking God complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to ask for you, say it instead of downplay it.
Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus.
Wow, this is already a lot. I think like also being able to continue and keep that rhythm while there's no instrumental behind you is honestly really a testament to talent as well. We also see when he goes back and forth, the guitar parts also changing and shifting. He's mirroring just these two different versions of himself with the guitar as well, which shows that instead of just playing the same chords, like it wouldn't have had the same effect, because it has to be a complete tone shift. And you definitely see that with his more hopeful side. The guitar sounds a little bit more dreamy and cheery, and then the other side it's a little darker, because he's also using kind of the lower notes, etc., because he's using more of like the low E string but higher up on the neck, compared to the other version where he's kind of playing up higher on the neck, which makes it a little bit more higher and cheerier, in my personal opinion, or more hopeful. And it's interesting how he's talking about how one side of him says he has a God complex, and while the other is talking, it's just kind of coming from a more hopeful place, and they're trying to kind of get through by being confident, etc., but how that can be perceived as having a God complex at the same time, and kind of taking that hope and crushing it by considering it to be something negative, aka being super arrogant. So it's kind of one of those things where the line between being confident and sure in yourself can also be viewed as arrogance, etc., and I feel his demons and his subconscious is using that confidence against him. It's just kind of taking and weaponizing the things that makes Ren feel good about himself and acting like he's completely wrong for that, and completely it's basically this other version of Ren is just constantly doubting, weaponizing, demeaning, etc., and not letting this other person thrive. And it just shows the struggle that people with mental illness have to go through. I actually have studied psychology in school, so I totally understand this whole topic, and I think that there's definitely this huge stigma when it comes to mental illness, and I think a lot of people don't fully understand how hard it is to live with because we don't really talk about it. Or if we do, we kind of have these really romanticized version of mental illness, or we have horrible representations like 13 Reasons Why, etc. And I think that it's those kinds of representations lead us, kind of cause us to regress when it comes to progress. So I think this is a very raw song, and it's very vulnerable to release something like this. How living with a mental illness is on a day-to-day basis, and how you can't allow yourself to find the good in a situation. It always has to lead to a negative element or a negative personality trait, etc. So we will continue. That was just kind of my opinion and like thoughts as we're hearing the lyrics, etc. and going through this.
Bonus.
Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside. Newsflash. I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason. Beheading all kings, I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mephistopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender when standing in front of my solar eclipse. My name is stitched to your lips, so you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal. Feeble and normal, you wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of end. I am you, you are me, I am you, Ren.
Obviously, in that whole moment, it was very unsettling with the music and the chord choices because it was very dissonant. So basically, dissonance is when the notes don't really sound pleasing to the ear. So as we saw him going up the neck in that moment, he was just selecting very dissonant tones and dissonant chords to use, which definitely adds to the unsettling nature of this whole part. As well as the camera work, it kind of aligned because we saw the camera zoom in and pan in while he was increasing the intensity of the rap part, etc. And we also had the lights go a little bit crazy. It is setting the stage for this evil, mentally ill character to emerge. So yeah, that was a really intense moment. It felt very unsettling, especially when we kept zooming in and out, and he had this really intense stare at the camera. He's really embodying this character, and while watching it, it does make your skin crawl a little bit because just he's doing such a good job of staring into the camera and delivering that intense stare. So that's something I noticed throughout this too. But obviously his guitar is definitely helping shape the song as well, and it's connecting with the lyrics and connecting with what he's trying to portray.
Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower at the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs. That I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that make to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, Iroquois minted different side.
That's the first time I've heard his voice. I really like it. It's very clear with like a little ounce of raspiness. And while I do appreciate the rap, I also love singing more than rapping personally. And it's nice to hear the two sides of his voice, the rap and the singing version. It's also, it delivers such a different, delicate feel compared to the rap, which was so intense, especially with the accent. So with this part, it seems like they're kind of combining into one, and he's kind of talking about how he's gained hope, etc. And the singing transition is just showing, I guess, when we have them both sitting next to each other, I guess there's just the rap back and forth, but it kind of seems like they're combining and just realizing that hope has been able to guide him through life, etc. And we also talked, like, briefly, we alluded to suicide, etc., and how the hope within him was able to get him through those moments. And I think, but yeah, let's keep watching. I'm curious to see where this goes, but yes, I'm getting more of a combination of the two and just a realization that hope was allowing him to continue through life. I feel like that was the first instrument we've heard besides the guitar in the back, because there was like a very atmospheric wind sound. Interesting. I guess now we're getting more ambient atmospheric sounds.
When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas, that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
Okay, it's almost done. I have to stop for copyright from time to time, so let's continue. Okay, I think that's over. Wow, that was intense. I'm just gonna see the last part, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna just show him post music video, etc. It's interesting how we got 3 different elements of how he kind of presented his writing. We got the rap, we got the singing, we got the spoken word at the end. I think that was important for him to talk about his personal struggle at the very end and kind of connect it more to him now and talk about how he struggled throughout the years, etc. And I think he brought up some really good points that there's no winners or losers, there's only victims, and how when you are struggling with demons or mental illness, it's something that you constantly have to work through. It's not something that you ever fully win. It's kind of a constant battle, but once you are able to manage that dark side of yourself, it becomes a lot easier to just live. And I think that's what he's kind of showing through this, is just showing that definitely it is a journey, and it is a continuing journey, a continuing battle, which can be applied to any mental illness, especially, I mean, not especially, but even addiction, etc. I really love learning about mental illness, etc., addiction, because I just as a side note, I study psychology in school, and I really value getting to know why people are the way they are, and kind of getting to fully understand how how people can struggle mentally throughout life. I think it's important to have sensitivity and be really considerate and understanding of other people's mental health, because it is equally as important as physical health, and it is honestly probably even harder to resolve, because especially with this goes into so many different issues, and I guess I could sit here and talk forever about it. It's just there's not as much access to mental health help, and there's not enough people delivering mental health help. There's long wait times. It's just such a very complicated issue, and I think we definitely need to continue moving forward in a way that better equips the system and gives our citizens better access to mental health resources. There's just so much I could say, because I've definitely been experiencing and living through learning about all of this and kind of being extra sensitive to mental illness. But I think that what he talks about is important. I think it's always important when these celebrities or people who are artists kind of give more insight into their mental processes and their writing process. And kind of, I guess he's in this situation, he's not sugarcoating, he's not romanticizing, he's not portraying mental illness in a way that it's not. He's just showing it very raw and very honest, that it's something that he has struggled with, he continues to struggle with, but he has just gotten better at managing it. And how he kind of alluded to suicidal thoughts, etc., and especially with the growing prevalency of mental health concerns in our youth, especially, and the rising suicide rates, etc., I think it's really good to touch on the subject, because it breaks my heart. Like this, it really breaks my heart to think about all of this. It honestly emotionally affects me to hear stories like this and hear about people's mental health struggles, and it just makes me so angry that the system is the way it is, and how people who need help can't always get it, even if they make that really brave step and move forward to find help. Because first off, the first step is accepting that you want to find help, and then the next step is finding the help that you need, that you can afford, that you can find in a timely manner. It's just, there's so many things that are failing people when it comes to mental health. This is going on a whole rant, but I just am very passionate about this because I've seen it firsthand, and it's really sad to see how we are failing these people, especially as this becomes a more prevalent issue in our society. I don't know why, but it could be combined with just extra pressure, social media, etc., that's just causing these problems to be even more heightened over time. But yeah, I think it's important for songs like this to exist. I think it's important to be really real as an artist and talk through what is going on. And it is a very powerful song, and I think even more powerful was his whole speech at the end that connected it to his real life and gave us more insight into how he wrote the song, why he wrote the song, etc. So this was a very long-winded end, but it did hit me because I have seen these struggles firsthand, how difficult it is, and how I think it just highlights how mental health is an ongoing battle. And just a quick video from the future. I think an important element that I saw when I was looking up the song right after editing it, etc., was that it's not necessarily a battle, it's a balance, which I was trying to kind of illustrate through my wording of how it's an ongoing process. It's not an ongoing battle where there's just someone that wins. It's just kind of an ongoing balance of, managing your mental health, etc. So I think that was important that he brought that up, especially with the pendulum metaphor, etc. So yeah, that was just kind of something I wanted to add in here to kind of clarify my thoughts, etc. I think that the song was really powerful, and I think it's really necessary to always talk about this type of topic, so I really commend Ren for doing so. And while it's not usually the genre that I would casually listen to, I think that these powerful pieces are important. And I'm honestly surprised that with such a very minimal backing track that he was able to deliver such intensity and emotion, because he basically just had the guitar, him, and that was all. And he was able to use silence to his advantage. He was able to portray different elements of his voice, like his singing, as well as these two very different rap styles. So overall, I think this was a unique song. I understand why it garnered so much attention, and I'm glad that it did, because I think this is an important conversation. It always starts the conversation, and it helps people feel like they're not alone, and I think that's always the most important part. So yes, as someone that is a singer, who's someone who has studied a lot about mental health and also spoken to a lot of people with mental health issues because of numerous opportunities that I've had, I definitely have extra empathy for this situation, and I think that it's always going to be an important dialogue to have. So that's my opinion, my thoughts, but let me know what you guys think about this video, if I missed anything. I know that I probably missed a lot. It was a lot to take in, especially lyrically, in these 9 minutes, so yeah. Feel free to let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know if I should react to any more Ren, because I would love to, and I'm so sorry for this really shaky end screen right now. I am trying my best to not have it be that way, but I just wanted to finish this video, so yeah. But I feel like now I am in a very contemplative mood after watching that. But I will see you guys in the next video. Feel free to subscribe, ring the bell. Also, I have my own music, so if you want to go listen to it, feel free. I have my Soundcloud below, etc., and I have other videos on this channel. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. And yeah.